Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to Lake of Voices. So before we begin, I got an external hard drive. I think it's 1 or 2 terabytes. So I should be good. Anyways, I don't remember. I think this is... Wait. I'm just gonna backtrack, you know? I'm just gonna backtrack. I'm sorry. We're going to watch. Skip. Now. Oh yeah, okay, I know where we are. What about side effects? You didn't say what they were. Oh yeah. Yeah, we know.
It can slow
No.
No. That so.
I hope there.
Yeah. Sorry.
any-
Sorry for
You are-
backtracking. It's because I didn't save my save. That could work.
I'm hardly in a position even though
Thank you.
continue. Normal.
Is
This
So, Unfortunately,
please.
there is an
It will still be more manageable than this bridge.
So,
go back a small ways. You will find a branch heading west. Take it.
okay. Alright.
because of Kika,
Yep.
You are always...
if there was nothing,
I don't remember where I was at. Look up. Oh, yep.
I hope you aren't falling.
Why are you letting
The risk.
the heroic end?
There have to be.
We can
Yep.
Unless you've.
Yep. I'm sorry. Let me carry him.
Bemele. You can hold onto my lantern and I will take the guide. I can't manage for as long as you have. However, that would be better than pushing yourself to the limit.
Yep. Get ready to look. Kirk's a smile at me.
I would appreciate that. The two of us make for a much better pair than he and I. Does our guide agree with that assessment?
Got his answer. He simply turns away. Smile awkwardly back at both of them. That brief gesture of affection, he takes Lantern with care and backs up with an encouraging grin on his face. I moved to the guide and nodded him.
I will help you now.
The guide doesn't resist and makes no complaints over the switch. He accepts his fate as an inevitability. I pull on the man's lanky limbs to hoist him up onto my shoulders. The guide makes some few murmuring sounds of discomfort. That quickly passes as he settles again. I can see Bemele is already breathing easier now that the load has been taken off his back. Gross.
We need to get out of here.
Yes, we do. There's no disagreement. Yeah, points an arm over my shoulder.
turn down that branch.
Okay. We walk at a I think this is where I left off last time. We walk at a brisk pace, down a new bridge. After what feels like an endless creeping nightmare, the lake grows quiet again. We are finally left alone once more. Our group stops to breathe, still reeling from how close we came to the edge. As if to mock our attempts to feel calm, the light of the sun starts to peek through the mist. We're running out of time. It shakes me to think this coming light is the true reason we were freed from the Prowlers. I steel myself for the answer to the question I'm about to ask.
Is the shore close?
We will have to run.
Okay. I swallow down my dry throat. Gross. The weight of the guide feels that much more overwhelming now. We're still ragged with exhaustion from the trial we only just survived. However, I stand firm to address them. I will not let anything drag us down.
We're almost there. We are going to make it.
Bemele smiles boldly at my words. Margaret nods a little shakily, yet she also seems determined to not be left behind. I readjust the guide and tighten my grip on him. Then I begin to sprint down the bridge. As we run down a long stretch, the faint silhouette of land comes into view. I nearly can't believe that it's there when I see it. I ignore the pounding, aching feeling in my legs and pump them as hard as I can, focusing on the clear goal in the distance. We race against time as the sun rises even higher. Nearly all of the darkness has faded away. Even so, we don't stop. We keep pushing. The guide abruptly demands a change in direction. I start to take a sharp turn to the left when the added weight of his body causes me to tilt. Balance! I halt my steps and manage to keep myself from wobbling too much. Yes? Bemele appears right at my side. His face is full of fear. I cannot blame him. That was a far closer call than I would have liked. A fragile smile breaks out past all the concern. He addresses the guide, who is still stubbornly clinging to my back.
We're close enough to the end, I think. If Kika gives the medicine back, would you be able to manage the rest of the walk on your own?
There isn't time for it to take effect.
I try to steady my shaking legs. I've carried him far longer than I've ever needed to lift another person before, but it has to be done. We can't leave him here.
Well then, might I help you with that dead weight? I'll take one arm and you can keep the other.
I lift my eyes up to meet his. They shine confidently. Bemele is a good man. Involving another person may be quite a risk, yet at this point I feel it will be worth it. Between the two of us, we should have the strength to go on.
Yes. Thank you.
I slide the guide down on one side to make it easier for Bemele to take hold. He takes position as the final part of a chain connecting all three of us. The guide's only contribution is a nearly inaudible sigh. I only catch because his face is so close to my ear. Bemele and I nod knowingly at one another. Then we begin to run, fighting against the sunrise and our own exhaustion. The three on our feet continue running as hard as we can until the dock draws near. And we finally make it to the shore. I have indigestion. I nearly vault my body as far away from the shoreline as possible before completely collapsing onto the sand. The guy lets loose a deeply pained groan as he ends up being brought to the ground with me. He still takes the opportunity to gracelessly untangle himself from my hold. When I regain even the smallest modicum of strength, I dive my hand into one of my pouches and fetch the medicine we took from him. I offer the vial to the guide. He stares at it for a moment, and then at me. He silently accepts it. I look at him with my thoughts mixed. Should I apologize? Even if this part of the journey everyone was spared, the guide still suffered from our actions. While I ponder over what to do, the guide doesn't show the same lack of surety. He disregards my glances and downs the vial completely. He slams his eyes. His eyes slam closed. Anything said to him would be unwanted, regardless of what it was. That much is clear. Assuming that he would prefer to finally have his own space returned, I push myself away. My joints creak, still burning from how much exertion they were forced to endure moments ago. The events that just unfolded flash before me. Suddenly, I feel myself being the one lifted. It's Bentley who holds me close to his chest. I hear him quietly sniffling above me. Oh, are you crying? Oh, achievement unlocked, loyalty. That's adorable. That is adorable. His lips, though. Them lips. This shit is adorable. Whee. I relax into Bentley's embrace while wrapping my arms around his neck. Hot tears brim in the corner of my eyes, and I allow them to fall freely. Through this great emotion, he speaks quietly, more to himself than anyone else.
Thank God.
The small statement makes it fully sink in that we reached the shore. We actually made it after everything. We're safe. I'm so overjoyed that he is here, that the both of us made it together. We stay like this as long as his worn state can manage. Even after placing me down, he never strays far. There is movement from the corner of my eye, and I notice that the guide is standing again. It is almost strange to see him behaving so normally, so distantly, after what we went through. He draws near to us, his cloak swaying in the morning wind with each step he takes.
It is time to leave this place. There is nothing left for you here.
Okay. Bye. Upon being addressed by him, I rise to my feet. He has a calm look on his face, as though there is force behind his sincerity. Serenity. Fuck, why do I say it like that? God! Ah! Anyways. I open my mouth in an attempt to speak. However, I quickly realize I still have little idea of what to say. He is Get your shit together, me! He is untrustworthy, but in the end we only were able to cross because of him. And then the fog is removed from my thoughts. After everything that has happened, it becomes clear. I harden my face to match his serious disposition. There is something he is certainly right of. This lake isn't a place to linger. Going round and round in circles will never help. We cannot submit our lives or our minds to Sinlos. What I must do if I truly want to defend others is keep them from coming here at all. When I return to my village, I intend to make that information acutely known to our elder. For that to happen, we must leave.
Goodbye.
Bye! His eyes narrow as he looks over me. I begin to feel uncomfortable under his scrutiny, but for a moment I could swear I noticed him smiling slightly. However, it could be easily be a trick of the morning sun. Bentley smirks slightly to himself, refusing to truly acknowledge the guide. I make no complaints. This is likely for the best. Margaret steps over to us and regards the guide with a pointed expression.
This will be goodbye for us as well. I appreciate the opportunity you've graced me with. However, I won't be returning here.
I was drinking. The guide offers no reaction to her statement. In fact, he says nothing at all. Instead, he simply turns on his heel and leaves us alone once more. We make no attempt to stop him, watching him silently as he disappears into the landscape. It is painfully clear that no matter how meaningful this is for us, it's only another day in his life. That That was perfect. English, yes. Once the guide fully departs, Margaret frowns harshly.
This all seems so terribly sad.
It is. I regard the lake again. It is isolated and desolate, the mist still covering the surface like a suffocating rag. My thoughts darken as memories of Lou come flooding in. A warm, wide hand drapes over my shoulder and gives it a firm squeeze. Ooh! I like it when a warm, wide hand just drapes over my shoulder and gives it a firm squeeze. Anyways, I peer up to see Bemley. He holds me in his gaze sympathetically.
We don't have to put all of this behind us. Especially not right at this moment.
I stare at him silently, tongue-tied at his words. He gives me a comforting smile. The smile lingers for a bit before his expression promptly hardens, like his dick.
I'm not sure I'm the same coming off the bridges as I was stepping onto them. It's something I'll always have to live with. That's all right, isn't it?
I stare at him tenderly.
Yes, it is.
This won't be the last time we face situations where lives are on the line. I understand that difficult decisions will need to be made. Still, I am not going to let anyone abandon someone else, if I can help it. I can always look for another way. After all, it's impossible that I could ever be the most logical person in the room. Someone else will stop too much recklessness from happening. And then, occasionally, my focus on finding a solution to help all instead of accepting a painful reality will make a difference.
I feel tears then coming and manage to smile for him, heartbroken and joyful.
I think that's wonderful. And very much like you.
He smiles happily, though then takes on a bashful look.
Let me add that I don't want you to feel as though you personally need to make up for my idealism.
Okay.
I'm not your responsibility, and I'd like for you to be happy and honest about how you feel, and
He started rambling, so I cut him off before he can work himself up further.
Bemele, you have never been my responsibility. You're my partner.
My life
And
partner.
you don't have to worry about me either. I understand. As a pair, I take pride in how one is strong where the other is weak.
No, that was so... That was kind of cheesy, but it was kind of cute at the same time, I'm not gonna lie. Bemele's eyes grow wet with tears of his own, and he grins ear to ear.
Kika, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you too.
Oh yeah, thank you too. I'm sorry. What? He wipes his damp eyes on his sleeve and chuckles self-consciously.
I hope that this means I'll be allowed to keep sharing your company from now on. It seems I've gotten used to seeing you each day.
Yes.
I would love nothing more.
Aw. A warm sensation hovers between us. It means so much that we found what we were missing in one another.
It truly is time for us to leave this place.
Bemele stands a little taller.
That is music to my ears.
I love that smile! Ooh! Ooh! I guess my jimmies rustled. Woo! Woo! We turn around and walk away from the lake. Margaret notices and follows behind with no hesitation. I offer her a small smile, seeing her settle in step with me. Without looking back or stopping, I closed my eyes and whispered beneath my breath, soft as a falling leaf, to all those left behind within the lake of Sinlos, I offer one last reverent parting word.
Farewell.
Oof. I hurried to Hemmer as quickly as I could. I've already failed to help another during my journey. I cannot we already know. Bemele was of great help during the fight. His outwardly positive demeanor lifted the spirits of many around him, but I could see from the shadows in his eyes that he hadn't forgotten what we went through. Rather than be paralyzed by it, he is pushing himself to be even stronger. I admired that about him, and I fully intend to support him the way he does for me. After putting Sinlos behind her, Margaret explained where she was originally from, though she has no plans on returning. Despite leaving everything she knew, Margaret boldly looks towards the future. I respect her for her bravery, and hope for nothing more than the best. When receiving payments for his services, the guide must give a report of all those who both succeeded and failed to cross the lake. I was finally able to learn the name of the stranger we met on the bridges, Lou. I already knew about it. I already knew his name, though. What? As the guide predicted, he did not survive. He had requested to cross and been denied. He must have been truly desperate to attempt the crossing alone. I can only pray that those who cared for him will learn the truth of what happened. I have not heard nor seen the guide since then. He will remain obscured in that realm of fog and fear, a mysterious light off in the distance that is ever out of reach of the real world. As the task in Hemmer comes to a close, I mentally prepare myself to return home. I'm all too aware that things can never be as they were. What I know for certain is that my village elder must be told that no one is to cross Sinlos again. I have already told the Hemmer leaders the same. Not a single more person should have to experience what we did. And its darkness will remain with me for the rest of my days. Though so much was lost, I believe that our lessons will keep others from suffering the same way, and in the end, something will be gained. Nothing will be gained, whatever. After we returned home, Bemele adopted a wolf dog named Dedrick. Well, that's adorable. He did not enjoy being alone at night so soon after what we witnessed on Sinlos. I could have slept over, come on. I could understand how he felt. I told him that I am there at any time if needed. Now he, along with Dedrick, regularly make themselves at home in my cabin. I would be lying if I said it did not bring me comfort having him here. We still spar together and are often partnered for missions, meaning we spend most days together. It is incredible to still find fulfillment in these small joys, despite the pain and hardship. I will continue to do all I can to protect others, as well as the life I've come to love. Aww. Cute. Do we really care about the credits, though? Do we really care about the credits? Hell no! Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode of Lake of Voices. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode and would like to see more of this game, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring the notification bell. And remember, die safely. Bye-bye!